advantage.
Well, Baxter and Andrew Jarman at it before the ball is bounced. Have a look at this off the play, just to the right. Getting involved too, McDermott. Adelaide kicking to the left. Hawthorn to the right of screen. Greg Deere went up. First touch went to Hodges. Anderson had it ripped off him. Hip and shoulder was strong by Adelaide. Hall at half forward. He's played some pretty good football here. The Ayres handball, but coming back to Hall. Fight on behind play.
Yes, Condon and McDermott. She was pretty heavy too, I can say. Don't worry about that. Collins picking up McGuinness. I thought Baxter may have, but Baxter picking up Jarman.
Hall goes short and gets Baxter, who's got the job as a tagger tonight, as you'd expect. Dunstall provides a lead to the pocket. The kick's good. Gets it. Hart unable to cut it off. And Dunstall making a strong lead to the forward pocket. Not an easy shot from this angle. A good kick by Baxter. Now Dunstall from about 45 metres has already been in terrific form this year. No big bags, but he's been most consistent. Great kick straight through the middle. Opening goal to the Hawks.
Yes, and after that scuffled play continued, and Dunstall unaffected totally by that sort of play, made the lead, kept his eye on the footy. The kick coming to him was just perfect. And Ben Hart going back there, 34. Couldn't get a hand to it. What a terrific finish by Dunstall. That's why he's a class player.
First blood to the Hawks then. Back in the middle. Deere. Opposed to Pittman. Deere wins it. Taken high was Maynard. He got it from Ricciuto. And now Maynard again getting involved. This time with Paul Deere. And the ball will come back to Rodney Maynard alongside the centre circle. The stakes are high tonight. Maynard goes down towards half forward. It's a telling kick. They contest about 35 metres out. Down goes Brown, rakes it back in. Could almost be holding the ball. A whistle and a bounce. There's the bench for the Hawks. Deere. Out-ruck this time. Broom gets it down. Brown to Anderson. Anderson about 30 metres out. Pulls it back. It's a high floater. It goes close to the boundary line. In fact, just snuck in for a behind. First score then on the board for the Adelaide Crows.
Just pick up that bench there for Adelaide. We have Liptak and Robran. And for Hawthorn, Hudson and Graham.
Jenke with a job on Modra. Goes short to Darren Jarman. Anderson puts the pressure on. Handball not good. Hodges rips it away. Goes with a long one to the goal square. Modra and Jenke. Well played, Jenke. Brown missed it. Jarman. Andrew Jarman gives a free kick away to Baxter. Surprise swap Baxter to Hawthorn, and they're getting some value out of him. Here's Pritchard. Steady, but not spectacular start for the season for him. Hall. Ben Hart's got the job on him. Drop punt. Gowers, all too easy. Pritchard, he can kick a footy. Goes bang. Hooks it. And it's a behind, but ominously for Adelaide, there wasn't a lot of pressure there for a while.
Bruce Hawthorn just coming out nice and strong at the Crows, knowing they'd still be a little sore from that Sunday game, only 4 days rest, where the Hawthorn had that break, the bye. They're keen to play footy.
Lee, members side with a kick. It bounces obligingly for McGuinness. He's at left half back. He goes down towards the wing. Ricciuto, well, the slip helped him. The hand pass charged down by Ayres. No subtlety there. He tried to go off the ground. Condon had his pocket picked. Jarman comes away with it. Kicks inside the 50. Modra got hands to it. Couldn't hang on. Groom tackles Langford. Jarred free. It came to Cooper. Now Jarman runs it out. He goes out towards the wing. He's had a couple of bounces. He goes down towards half forward. The intended target is Hall. Hall and Hart. Hart does well. Hall fights back. Over the top, Lee. And arriving rather late was Pritchard. And the free kick is going against him.
is you cannot condone that sort of play anywhere. Unnecessary. Players unprotected, and the umpire did the right thing. Free kick.
From halfback goes short to Pittman. Gaining about 25 metres. Pittman with not a bad kick towards the centre square. Groom just pushed out by Langford. It was good play by the champion Hawthorn defender. 4 premierships, 220 odd games. Short to Baxter again. Third touch. Crawford was very short. And he goes the option to Greg Deere. Some loose checking by Adelaide. Deere thumps it to Dunstall. 2 Adelaide players back there. Platten, Bickley off the ground. Throw in the pocket. Bickley with the job on Platten.
Good matchup. Great paces, Bickley, and concentration.
Platten, one of a number of McGarry medalists out there tonight. But he's playing for Hawthorn. Pittman wins the tap. Collins tapped it down. Lee got rid of it. Wiedemann tapped it out. They should leave it for McGuinness. Gee, the handball in the end looked a bit suspect. Anderson over the top of it. Smart's in there. And Hawthorn hold it up. Right half forward for the Hawks. Dunstall with the goal on the board in the first minute and a bit. Paul Deere. And Pittman. Pittman did win the tap. McDermott tries to barge his way through. It's a stalemate situation. And again, the ruckman will do battle. Same spot.
Paul Deere will contest here with Pittman. Greg Deere is camped back on the wing. Slapped out wide. Head over the ball. Allen going nowhere. Pittman's got it. Down he goes under the Collins tackle. Another ball up. Slow progress down towards right half forward here for Hawthorn. They're looking good at the present time. Pittman decisively. McGuinness going nowhere. Lost it. Collins tries to go off the deck. Picked up by Bickley. Gives it away to Platten. 45 metres out. Pulls it back. A floater down towards full forward. Awkward one for Rouvray. Dunstall. Eventually McGuinness took it away from Crawford and boots it towards the outer side. Some trouble there. Disposed of. But the fans were holding their breath. Pritchard got it to Gowers. Ricciuto. Quick hand pass away. On his knees, Lee in trouble. As is Tregenza, down he went. And it will be a free kick coming back to the wingman. In fact, it's going to Lee and not Ricciuto. Lee told to play on around the outer side. Langford, I thought he was pushed in the back. Ball runs free behind. And Cooper can't keep it in. Wasn't trying too hard. We've got a throw in. Robran and Liptak go around the boundary line. It's a packed house tonight. This game sold out early in the week. Tossed in. Greg Deere hooks it. Knocked on by Jarman. Taken by Allen, who runs to the wing.
Probing kick. Dunstall with a little shove. Gives away a free kick to Rouvray. Sort of speculation who would get the job on Dunstall. Wiedemann under some pressure, but they have the numbers. Oh, it didn't do it well. It was poor play, Wiedemann. Really should have given off a handball. And Crawford did an excellent job. And now Dunstall gets it from Paul Deere.
Yes, Wiedemann's in one of those situations where you must do the instinctive thing firstly. Go with your first thought. Get rid of the football quickly. Don't hesitate. When you hesitate, you are caught.
Had the numbers, Ross. I know he's under pressure, wasn't he? But he had numbers around him.
But he should realise that, Bruce. He's played enough football now.
Just a quick give, but tried to take Crawford on. And you'd back Dunstall from here. Great goal in the first minute of the game. And now from directly in front, 45 metres out, drop punt, good-looking kick, and he's kicked another one. 2 to Dunstall and 2 to Hawthorn.
That's the danger there of Jason Dunstall. The ball comes down in a free-flowing fashion here. Wiedemann should have got rid of the first occasion. The kick he did get away was just too short under pressure. And Deere just calmly waited for the Dunstall lead. He got that. And the conversion was always on.
Jason Dunstall has kicked 2 goals, and that's the margin the Hawks lead it by. Well, a couple of throws upended there. It's going to be a Hawthorn free kick, though. Greg Deere has it. Sends it out wide towards left half forward. Bounces nicely for Allen, who surrenders some ground. Gets it back. Cooper kicks inside the 50. Dunstall's the target. Again, what a spectacular Spectacular mark by Pittman in from the side. He launched himself. Terrific mark towards the outer side and Brown. He's at right half back. Spectacular mark in defence there. They'll need more of that. Players getting back, crowding the champion full forward on the outer side wing. Quick hands, Jarman to Pritchard. High up and under, tumbles it down towards the 50. His confidence is sky high. Pittman, he was again. Wiedemann gets a hand pass out. Crawford, quick hands away. Allen dragged down by Jarman. One of two playing tonight. Gets it out towards Lee, who boots it from half back.
Groom against Langford. Smart, quick left foot. Modra one out here against Jenke. Jenke hanging on, free kick Modra.
Could be a duel of the full forwards.
Well, the ball bounced through for a goal, but the whistle had been blown.
And Tony Modra, Bruce, if he plays in front like that, Jenke can only hassle him from behind and try and retard him in some way, either by jumper or trying to nudge him off the football and infringe in the back. He gives himself every chance. See this again. Jenke just waiting for the ball to sit. They're caught behind. Infringed earlier on.
Well, the Coleman medal's been won 3 times by Dunstall. Modra's the early pace setter in '93. Drop punt, bad kick, hooked it poorly out on the full. It's normally reliable.
Well, it's a finicky thing, Bruce, but if full forwards have to kick goals, they must be direct with their follow-through and they must point their toe. His toe was pointing to the heavens when he completed the kick there, which gave it no direction whatsoever.
Get superstitious at the start of a match. Things just working for Hawthorn, aren't they? Dunstall bangs a big one through from a tough angle. Modra, an easier shot, can't register a score. So Hawthorn have taken early points with the long battle still to be played. Jenke goes to half back and Condon and Ricciuto see it go out of play. This was a great mark by Pittman a couple of minutes ago. Look, launched himself. Fabulous. One of the reasons that people adore this game so much.
Fantastic. Greg Deere gets it out. Condon pushed off the kick. Baxter in desperate trouble. McGuinness over the ball. Baxter standing kick towards midfield. How will it bounce? They're coming from all directions of the compass. Hart did well. Body's going in very solidly. Wiedemann, down he goes. McGuinness over the ball, was taken around the head with a knee. Accidentally, I'm sure. He's going to get the free kick. He was after the ball.
Top marks to Ben Hart there, Dennis. Just he's the only player that wasn't going to spectate as the footy sat up in the air and just went for it. Well done by the young fella.
McGuinness, a look of grim determination, sends it inside the 50. Up in front, Modra falls behind. Jarman to Langford, who fumbles. Groom socketed away. Hodges deep in the pocket, keeps it in, lays it off. Needs support. Tregenza surrounded by Hawks, snaps and misses to the near side. Adelaide working hard there.
13-2. Dunstall with the goals to date. Jenke to come back in. Greg Deere at centre half back. Gower's wider for him. Just looking at the options. Goes to Baxter, poor kick. And Brown to take it. A real waste there for Hawthorn. I guess the answer, if you've got no options, is to bang it long and hope that one of your big men can take a mark.
Yeah.
Here's Brown from 50. Drop punt. Very good kick. Right there. Greg Deere in and concedes a behind. So no real damage done for Jenke. Gets another chance to go with it as the Hawks lead 13-3. As Dennis said, packed house. It looks completely full from where we're sitting. 48,000 and something is the official capacity of this ground, and you'd be battling to get a single soul in here now.
Jenke, members side. Wiedemann, big leap. Gower stood down and took the mark. Baxter, he's been very busy. Pumps it down towards half forward. Platten goes up. Bickley over the top. Did brilliantly. Deflected it to the advantage of Tregenza, but Jarman read it best. He runs away from the former there and hooks it around the outer side. Back goes Platten at full stretch. Takes the mark. He's at left half forward. John Platten, former South Australian star, towards the pocket. Dunstall outnumbered, but wins the battle. Well done. Centres it, Gowers. Released it too quickly. Jarman quick hands McGuinness. Wiedemann comes away from half-back towards midfield. Hodges goes up. Hodges wants to move it quickly. Modra in front of Jenke. Well done, Jenke. Modra, sock is off the ground. Groom is there, taken high. Must get a free kick. That was rather crude by Langford. It was always developing that way.
50 metres too, Dennis.
Yes, and again, compliments to another young player. Just wanted the football, put his head down, wasn't concerned about what was coming toward him. And as Dennis said, a bit crude by Langford, could have bent down himself. And they're those sorts of bumps that can cause injury.
So suddenly, the 50 metres changes the distance and, of course, the angle. So Groom at point-blank range. Goal.
Groom's first, Adelaide's first, and they move to 1-3 to 2-1.
Well, compliments to Adelaide here because Hawthorn came at them like a steam train. They manned up, they jostled nearly every player around the ground before the ball was bounced. Adelaide a little unsettled. Dunstall an early goal. Looked as if Hawthorn were going to take control, but Adelaide just slowly but surely just chipped away. And a couple of young fellas, Hart and Groom, doing some good things to set it up for teammates.
13 to 9. Darren Jarman out of the centre. Ricciuto tried to take it away. Pritchard got his hand on it. Andrew Jarman, who's snared a couple of balls brilliantly tonight. Greg Deere caught. McDermott's in there with a couple of hawks, including Gowers and Pritchard. So as Ross Glendinning said, Adelaide has regrouped and got right back in it. McDermott's first real touch. Quick kick by Cooper. Lucky. Went straight to Pritchard. To Gowers. From half-back. Left foot out to centre wing to Platten. Half volleyed it well. Got a nice bounce. Ran round and cleverly kicked it to Ben Allen, who's had a terrific start to this year. Former best and fairest of the club in their premiership year. Goes bang to half forward. Off play, Jarman. It was clever.
It was almost a step off, but he was clever enough to come back. Knew the umpire was going to nab him, and also knew that Scotty Lee was on his hammer.
What's that in gridiron? You signal a fair catch, don't you?
No, I'm not playing on.
Well, on the run, you'd back him from here, wouldn't you? You'd say bang, you'd go through the middle from 50 metres. He's a great kick. Boom. Gives it a hook and misses. No worry about the distance, but he's one of those enigmatic players that I think is better on the run than he is from a stand.
Well, he did take a bit of an arc there, Bruce, which is not unlike the way Mark Harvey kicks at Essendon. Just not accurate enough.
Rouvray goes wide, wants Ben Hart to run it down.
And he does. Well worked. Around the other side he goes, utilising his speed. Pulls it back beautifully. Groom. Just forward of the wing. Kicks for space and Modra on his knees. Couldn't rake it in. The crumbs went to Langford. Ayres did well. And now Cooper, little chip pass. Pritchard takes the mark, plays on immediately. Jarman towards half forward. Platten's in front down there. Bickley a timely fist. Platten did nicely. Greg Deere roved the pack. Gets it across to Crawford. 55 metres out. Charged down superbly McGuinness. He goes off the ground and boots it out wide. Now it's a foot race. The handicaps favoured this man, Condon. But McGuinness didn't read the form sheet. He caught him and knocked it away. Over the ball is Ayres. He's pushed off it. Tumbling in there is Anderson. We've got a whistle and it will be thrown in. Superb stuff by McGuinness. The smother, the shocker, the chase. Boundary throw in forward of left centre wing for the Crows. Clean possession there to Hodges. Down he went. Anderson slung. That was uncanny. Found the ball with his boot, gets it out of bounds about 20 metres further afield.
Liptak warming up to get ready to come on. Still Baxter wearing Andrew Jarman. Hodges, who's started today, or tonight, much better than last week. Darren Jarman got a quick kick. Anderson was in there, couldn't get it away. Condon off balance, high kick. Brown, clever. Cooper, well played. Took it on his left side. Can play. Cooper's had a lot of injury problems. Paul Deere, quick throw. Ben Allen unfortunate. Maynard. Ricciuto went without it. Wiedemann looking for a free, gets it. Well, goes back for a second try. short. Groom. Play on. Brown. Quick left foot. Was under pressure. Hawthorn should take it. Free kick going to Collins against McGuinness in the back pocket. Had a brilliant career, Collins. Played in a premiership in the VFA with Sandringham. Goes to centre wing. Ben Hart at the back. Ricciuto, the second youngest Adelaide player to make his debut in an AFL game for points, and Ben Hart was the youngest at 17.
Boundary throw in. Hodges over the top. Baxter close to the boundary line. Ricciuto out of bounds.
On the full.
Oh, what a tempo. I thought he was over the line still. Boundary umpire in perfect position. Here's McGuinness. Towards half forward. Platten flies from behind. Smart from the side. Falls to Jarman. Nicely done. Bought himself some time. Finds Ricciuto in space. Crosses the ball. The running Maynard, who loves to peel off from half back. Groom is on over the top. Groom now can run in. He can settle. It's a question of accuracy. He fires and fires fully. No, he brushed the post. He brushed the post. The crowd is celebrating, but it's in behind. Good pressure. I think it was Pritchard who almost got there.
Jarman to McGuinness. Sorry, Jenke. I had Jarman on my mind. That play was spectacular, wasn't it, earlier on?
Well, that's what Wiedemann couldn't do before, Bruce. That's the class of the player.
Collins. That's why stats can tell so many lies, can't it? When one bloke gets 8 kicks and another gets 13. Here's Pritchard from centre wing. He's covering some distance to half forward. Hall and Hart. Two outstanding players at different ends of their careers. Hall, the veteran, who's been riddled with a knee injury. Ben Hart, who's promising so much. AFL Rookie of the Year. Looks to have 10 great years in front of him. Little kick away. Brown gets a free. Getting more touches tonight than he did last week.
Gary Ayres behind play, just having a dislocated finger fixed.
Brown to centre wing. Maynard and Hodges with the flyers. Condon got a high tackle. Should get the free kick against Hodges. Very loose by Hodges. Condon already under pressure. Could have sweated off on him. The pocket. Hall, Hart, McDermott, who's been suffering with rib injuries. Caught. Suspected broken rib, McDermott, and was thought he might be given a rest.
Yeah, it's from the Eagles game, Bruce, a few weeks ago.
So he got a bye after that, and it couldn't fix itself up by the look of it, and he's had to play 3 matches since. To Wiedemann. Quick kick. Long kick to centre wing. McGuinness and Collins. Free kick. No, play on. Langford. Groom comes in hard. Anderson versus Condon. Anderson attacks it very well. He is a thumping kick normally round the body. Groom didn't get a good bounce. Ricciuto runs onto it. Hawthorn hold it up well. Langford to Ben Allen. Ricciuto runs him down. Still Ben Allen. Oh, good take. Collins well played. Hawthorn under pressure. Backs to Jarman again. Still. It was clever. McDermott to centre half forward. Langford against Groom. Langford's handball good to Cooper, and away go Hawthorn again.
Cooper pulls it around to Crawford. Thought about going back to Pritchard. Now he releases the ball. Pritchard quick hands to Jarman. Jarman through the middle towards half forward. Storming up the ground was Dunstall. Timely fist from Rouvray. Still Dunstall. Brilliantly done. Driving across the boot, Bickley. Dunstall. Third chance was legged surely. Must get the free kick. Crowd one holding the ball eventually. It comes to Tregenza.
Correct, and it should have been a free kick for being legged. He was playing the footy.
Wiedemann, great defence by the same token by the Adelaide Crows, but Dunstall kept buttering up. Cooper goes in short. This is Allen on the outer side. 2-2 to 1-4. The Hawks lead. Allen going for distance. Not a particularly good kick. Pittman dropped it. Lee out of the congestion. Now Anderson set a task. He's surrounded. He'll need to win this ball cleanly because there's no support. He does. Brilliant pickup. Little chip pass. Brown at full tilt. Left half back. Hoisted high towards half forward. McGuinness blinded by the light. Slapped away by Collins. Gowers flicks it across, looking for Jarman and or the boundary line. tossed in. The crowd big and vocal tonight. He is in front. Jarman over the top. McGuinness. Must be a free.
Oh, goodness me.
Well, Cooper bound and gagged in there somewhere.
You're not allowed to touch anyone in the back at all, particularly when they're going for the footy. And around the neck.
Bit lucky there, Jarman. A lot lucky. Pittman, Greg Deere, Hodges, Anderson. Free kick. Well, advantage is paid. Groom takes a good mark and gives it off to Maynard, who goes bang to Modra. Jenky with him. What a good contest played, Modra. Very well played. Wiedemann misses it. Well,
deserved a goal, didn't it?
It sure did. They were stiff. But they've been stiff a couple of times tonight. It was a great contest. And Wiedemann, unfortunate.
They are very difficult to control. I mean, I don't care what anyone says. Have a go at that yourself. It is very, very tough.
Jenky goes bang down towards the centre. Langford to target with Ayres. Ayres takes it. Gee, some premierships between those two. 9 to be exact. As Ayres goes to half forward. Lee should have got a free against Paul Deere. Gives it off to Smart. Runs away. Deere just runs straight through Tregenza and flattens him. Here's Maynard. Modra is the target yet again. Jenky's done well on him. That's a great mark, though. It's an exciting full forward.
So the bloke who's making space for the Crows, Bruce, is Rodney Maynard. His preparedness to run is just amazing. He is as fit a player as I've seen alongside McGuinness. For a bloke of his size, he's prepared to cover ground up the field. For a bloke who's held down centre half back, he plays like a ruck rover. Good stuff.
He was leading goal kicker one year, Ross, at Norwood, so he can play it either end. Modra leans back and kicks a goal. Modra's first, and Adelaide in front for the first time tonight, late in the opening quarter, at 2-5 to 2-2 in what is shaping up to be a great contest.
Yes, and that little two-play there by Lee and Smart, very clever to break up the play, go cross ground because Maynard had made the space, and not only was a kick good, but a fantastic mark under pressure by Modra.
.28 goals for the season then for Tony Modra. Pittman decisively. McDermott high up and under inside the 50. Maynard turns, goes goalward, open goal. 2 and 30 seconds.
He must have heard you, Roscoe.
Well, last week in a losing side, Bruce, he had something like 30 touches, and it was no only his fault that the Crows lost. His commitment to the team is just fantastic. I just admire this bloke so much. And you said he's played full forward before. He knows where those goals are. He just got his kick away in time. He knew the pressure was coming. Terrific stuff.
He's played 49 consecutive matches. Hasn't missed a match for Adelaide. 3-5-2-2. Pittman uncontested. Suddenly the floodgates have opened. Oh, that would hurt if you've got a broken rib. Prosciutto caught. And free kick coming back to McDermott, is it? And the captain...
Well, it's like a steam train. And Gary Esich, I can assure you.
Prosciutto goes to Modra. Good kick. Oh, great mark. That's a sign of a fantastic mark. You can take it out in front under that pressure.
Well, that's almost how, well, it is exactly how Dunstall takes them when he's at his peak, which he is for most of his career. To take marks like that, particularly in these conditions, under pressure like that, eyes on the footy, it's just soft hands, but firm enough to make sure the ball is there. When it gets to your hands, you just grasp it firmly. They're not like rocks. It's a perfect match. Well played.
Well, will this be the third goal within a minute and a bit? Drop punt straight through again. I think you'd call this a major turnaround, wouldn't you, Dennis? 3 goals in about 70 seconds.
Yes, against the trend of play, really, because it was really being slugged out by these two sides, wasn't it, Ross?
Yes, some of their kicks under pressure, just a week in footy, or 4 days in footy, particularly for the Crows, is just a long time. And the difference between the team tonight and the team on Sunday is just fantastic.
Well, that is one of the great marks. Tony Modra. Normally you can see daylight between the man in front and the man behind, but we saw Jenky body to body with him. The fist was there as well, and the mark was held. Just one grab so clean. Condon lays it back. There's the kick from Cooper down towards half forward. High floater. Wiedemann didn't go at the ball. Allen goes off the ground. Play on is the call. Crawford towards full forward. The Crows don't want to give up one here. Rouvray intent on going to the boundary, or was it? It was boxing. Away he comes out of the back pocket. Dangerous area on the ground. Lee goes up, couldn't hang on. Down goes Crawford. There's the siren. And the crowd welcomed that sound. Almost for Hawthorn. But the siren sounded to deny them. So Adelaide 4-5. A rush of goals late in the term. Lead by 15 points. 4-5 played.
He went to the interchange bench in the crisis last week against Melbourne and couldn't be part of the action late. And here he is in the centre court and going for holding the footy and going to Darren Jarman, who had a productive opening term. We've had 5 or 6 kicks. High one to centre half forward, certainly down the centre. Hall was at the back, Lee was at the front, McGuinness with pace. Hudson's on the ground, and notice Pittman hip and shouldered him off the footy. A good mark by Hodges at centre wing. Oh, handball not a good option to McDermott, got away with it. Tregenza goes bang, Modra on a lead, could get a good bounce. Didn't, but controlled it very well. Brown half volley, clever. Tregenza, Ricciuto, steady, bang, drop punt, and has put it through. The kid has kicked his first goal in the AFL, the 17-year-old, and Adelaide have stretched it away now. They've kicked 4 goals in about 2.5 minutes of football playing time.
Yes, and the plaudits from the Crows players coming back to Pittman for his work across half-back there. Good control by Modra, and a great pick-up by Brown, who's been down on form, and Tregenza did the right thing, giving across to Ricciuto. I sat next to his parents before the game, and they were terribly excited, and they'll be very thrilled with that kick. Crawford is the player off for Hudson.
Ricciuto a very likely type too. He's had a lot of touches in his first game. McDermott in the thick of things again, dragged down by Paul Deere, and the ball up alongside the centre circle. A sellout crowd at Football Park on a glorious night. Temperature at about 20 degrees. It's quite warm. Jarman goes off the ground inside the 50. Hart did well in a tight situation. He was nudged out but found the ball with his boot. Goes after it. He's very agile, quick, and a cool head, as we saw there. Gets it to Anderson. Anderson just outside the defensive 50. He's added something this season. Around the outer side, long kick. Well done by Gowers. Got in front. Cleverly too. Knocked down there by Ayres. Across the body. Going nowhere, Pritchard. Eventually it's McDermott inside the 50. Langford.
Centre half back tonight. Jenke with a job on Modra. Langford goes with Groom. He kicks it to centre wing. Good mark by Jarman. Was he off?
So that's a little step forward.
Just testing the water, wasn't he? Goes to half forward. Ben Hart outnumbered. Pritchard and Hall went. Hall turns once, gets caught. Andrew Jarman's in a tight squeeze. Oh, well played to Anderson, who should rebound strongly. Drop punt into the centre. Gowers, nice take. Greg Deere was a hot one for him. Gowers under pressure. Deere able to find some space. Oh, Anderson rips it away from Gowers. Anderson's had a very good match. Brown was spending it before he quite got it, but he too's playing better tonight. Centering kick. Groom clever against Langford, gave himself the run of it, then toe poked it towards Hodges on the run. Getting back Ben Allen. All free kick, no, against Hodges I thought, for deliberately kicking, but play on called. Langford clever. Jarman third kick this term, and it's a good one to half back to Greg Deere.
He's got some time on the outer side. Goes down towards half forward looking for Hall. He used his body well. Hudson on the ground. Hand pass untidy. Jarman. Anderson. Now McDermott. Hart needs to kick it and does. Towards centre half forward. Going back with courage. A strong mark is held by Hodges.
That should lift him, Dennis. He needs those sorts of marks to pep him up.
Hodges. Oh, shocking kick. Sometimes his disposal is lamentable. This is McGuinness. High kick back towards the wing. Hudson, did he nudge him out? Yes, he did, according to the umpire. Not too sure about that. Hudson makes the point. Upper body strength or lower body strength. Not sure what, but strength. Here's Lee. In other words, centre half forward McGuinness in best position claims the mark for the Hawks.
Swings it wide to Pritchard. Little one on to Ben Allen at centre wing. Hawthorn badly needing a goal. They started so promisingly with the first couple. Well played, Hudson. That was strength, Dennis. Upper body against Lee. Now Dunstall provides a lead. Clever kick by Hudson.
Oh.
Round the body. Hooked it beautifully, didn't he?
It had to be so spot on off the boot, and then to carry as it did. And Dunstall's pace to get away from Rouvray, who faced him initially on the lead, which is difficult because then once the player steps away from you, you then have to turn and chase, and you're always going to be behind. But Dunstall forced to go to the pocket. His midfielder is bottled up.
He's kicked 2. As I said earlier, he's kicked over 800 now. He's closing in on Bernie Quinlan and Peter McKenna on the all-time list. He's number 7. Drop punt. Good-looking kick off the boot. Great kick by Dunstall. He's outstanding. But we knew that before tonight. We knew that a long time ago. 3 goals to Jason.
And maybe Hudson, the player coming on to replace Crawford at the start of this quarter, can give them a lift. A very poor mistake early in the quarter, then a bit of a nudge earlier on that didn't go his way. On that occasion, used his body correctly, got the footy, and his disposal was very good, and even better disposal from Dunstall.
So the margin is 15 points, just over 20 minutes remaining in this first half, and Pittman gets it down. Condon going against the flow, goes back after the ball. At the base of all of that is Jarman. In fact, both of them. Pair of Jarmans pick themselves up from the base of that pack, and a bounce alongside the centre circle. Pittman and Dia wrestle. That was interesting. Condon over the top, thumps it out wide. Tregenza leads in the race. 2 speedsters there. Pritchard dragged him down, but not before he got the kick off. Here's Wiedemann confronted, goes over the top. Maynard, oh, nicely done once, but not twice. McGuinness drags him down, holding the ball.
He's had nowhere to go. Try to beat 2 or 3, and you can't do that, unfortunately.
McGuinness, very high kick towards half forward. Paul Deere in front. Smart reaches over the top. Platten tries to crash through, taken by Hart. Ricciuto couldn't hang on. Held without it was McGuinness. Oh, gee. There'll be a ball up on the wing. The crowd weren't holding the ball, but I think they should quit while they're ahead. McGuinness didn't have it initially as he tried to go through. Rucks go at it. Pittman gets it down brilliantly. Brown to Tregenza. Tregenza, right half forward, centering kick, looking for Modra. Awkward bounce. It runs free behind. Ayres. Maynard over the top. Quick hands there from Gowers, but it's going to be a free. Ayres was pushed in the back.
So the Hawthorn captain, twice the Norm Smith medalist, to centre wing. Good mark, Condon. Hawthorn have just stemmed the flow a bit and are starting to regroup. Centre wing or Hall, clever. Very good handball. Pritchard, Platten. Dunstall will be on a lead. You can bet that. And there's a similar story, isn't there, at both ends of the ground. When they go forward, open forward line, fast leading full forward.
Yes, and today's footy, Bruce, tonight's footy more particularly, you just need that crisp ball handling, the instinctive give-off, whether it be a kicker or short handball to the player going past. You create something, the space opens up, and your forward line has something to lead into, and disposal is very good.
Well, Dunstall with 3, and you'd reckon he'll make it 4, keeping Hawthorn very much in touch. 5-5, 3-2. Drop punt by Dunstall. Good looking kick, another one. Well, this remarkable player with 4 goals in the first 40 minutes of this match, and that's Hawthorn's goal tally at 26-35.
Just a great tussle between both sides here midfield. McDermott a bit lucky there with the late tackle, but the advantage was with Hawthorn through Platten, and he always finds, well, invariably finds Dunstall with his disposal of his forward of centre.
Hawthorn getting back into this now, playing solidly in the midfield. There's Greg Dia, out-rucked by Pittman. Condon dragged down by Jarman. Held too long in the tackle, says the umpire, and that's fair enough. Condon very quickly in off the line of the square. Generally the first man to arrive. Uses the ball reasonably well, but there's a 50-metre penalty.
Yes, Brown, in trying to cover his man, came across the mark because the player played on in Condon to come out wide. Brown got caught there coming across the mark, therefore there's a 50-metre penalty.
They do have a 5-metre tolerance. If they're chasing a man, here it is again.
There he goes across because he wasn't, so he didn't realise that Condon had come out this way.
No one close to it. So the kick from Condon is good. Hawthorn get another one. And generally, the goals have been coming in clusters tonight for both these sides.
Yes, teams now are very good at trying to take their opposition player across the mark when their teammate has the footy, and they run across the mark which they're entitled to if their team has the ball, but the opposition, of course, is not allowed to, and players sometimes chasing their opponent with their head down don't realise where the ball is and where they're going.
I think Andrew Jarman might have been reported here. Umpire having a good long talk to him. Certainly wrote something in the book. I can only imagine that Jarman has been disputing the first decision against Condon, and I reckon he might have gone. 5-5-5-2. We'll probably find out at half-time. Max obviously will chase that up, but could well have been reported, Jarman. Gowers crashes through. Hawthorn suddenly on top. Hall, well played. Allen, good take. Lovely play, Wiedemann, though, to hold it up. Allen with him. Wiedemann tucks it underneath. Can be dangerous when you do that. Half forward left for Hawthorn. In attack, trailing just by 3 points. Platten unable to get it away. Wiedemann and Pittman battling it out. Oh, Ben Allen just rips it off Wiedemann and then goes for goal with a reasonable kick, free kick down the ground against Adelaide. And was that Jarman again? Andrew Jarman. Dunstall to get the free kick down the ground, and this is very poor play by Adelaide. And you look at the free kicks they've given away in the last couple of minutes, resulting in goals, and Dunstall to step back and to kick his fifth. Here's Dunstall, tucked away in the pocket, leans back, bang, Hawthorn in front. Well, what a change. 5 goals to Dunstall, 6 to Hawthorn, 6-2, 5-5.
They just confirmed that for you, Bruce. I was just looking downfield. There are a couple of changes being made there, so I just wasn't up with the play, which is my mistake there, so I can't confirm that for you.
Yeah, I think it might have been the way Hudson spoke to Jarman. It might have been Jarman who gave the free kick away.
So Hawthorn suddenly getting a real spurt on. Good happening on the line of the square, as you can see. Everyone wanting to be first in. Greg Deere wins it down. Ricciuto did nicely. Well, over the head of Smart as it turned out. He is on his knees, taken high according to the umpire. So Hawthorn getting a run at the present time. And the Crows need to settle. The Hawks, for so long the champs, being tested tonight, and they're responding brilliantly. Down goes Allen. Oh, and Wiedemann in turn met solidly by Paul Deere. Deere really inclined to throw his body around. Now a whistle, and the ball up about 45 metres out from goal. Lee and Paul Deere. Plenty of players around the ball. Greg Deere gets it down. Allen all set up to kick it, but someone knocked the ball away. McDermott at the base of the pack. And another bounce. Well, you could throw a blanket over about 20 players there. Here's the bounce. There's the time remaining and the score. Pittman. Hudson, that's ambitious to try and go back through there. Platten, was he taken high? No. He was burrowing through. And another bounce. Jason Dunstall, 5 goals. 5 out of 6 so far. Pittman and Deere, they wrestle again. How will the umpire call that? Well, it's a free to Pittman. Plays on to McGuinness, who chips it out wide, taken by Lee, close to the boundary line. Low trajectory kick towards the wing. Down goes Brown. McGuinness tries to soccer it off the ground. Picked up by Platten. Brilliantly done. Hurried kick inside the 50. Lee goes back. Just taps it to his own advantage. And again, close to the line. Confronted there by Pritchard. And the ball jarred loose and goes out of bounds. Throw in. About 70 metres from Hawthorn's attacking goal. And they've done the bulk of the attacking so far in this term, much to the chagrin of that group.
Having kicked the last 4 goals after Ricciuto kicked an early goal for Adelaide to give them a big break. Darren Jarman, Ben Allen, Dunstall.
Well, the umpire's right next to that. The crowd's calling for a half volley, a bump ball, whatever you like. But he was in pretty close proximity to this. Just watch the ball here. Scooped up on the wrist almost of Dunstall. Well done, good decision.
Terrific mark.
To control the ball like that is just outstanding.
Going for goal number 6, which is also an outstanding statistic at this stage of the second quarter, and bang through for another one. Well, he's spoiling the party, this man, and the party is turning sour for Adelaide in a hurry. It's 7-2 to 5-5.
Yes, from the game last year, Bruce, when the Crows came through in the last quarter to kick 6 goals to win by a point at Waverley. I think it was round 12. Dunstall kicked 7 for Hawthorn. Was the outstanding player here, and to have kicked 6 in not even a half of football is just fantastic. I will always applaud that player.
So 9 points now Hawthorn's way. They've simply denied the Crows the ball in this term. Here's Jarman again. They win it out of the centre square. High floater. Hall is going back. Hart in front. Oh, almost a terrific mark. It wasn't playing. He brought it to the ground. The umpire called play on and now wants to ball it up. Well, the man in front there, that was a tough call. Watch it again.
I'm not sure what else you have to do.
I would have paid that one. Out of the congestion, Adelaide work it up towards the middle. Jarman was over the ball. McDermott to Wiedemann. The Crows needing a goal as Wiedemann comes down towards half forward. Groom does nicely. Quickly to his feet. Kicks for space. Modra would have been better advised, I think, to go at the ball. Socket off the ground down there by Cooper. Out of bounds in the pocket. That time Modra more intent on jostling for position. And I think Groom surprised him by the pace that he was up and moving the ball on, looking for Modra, almost instinctively coming on the lead. It didn't eventuate. Ayres in front. Maynard claimed almost as the ball arrived there by Gowers, and will have a bounce in the pocket.
Again, Jarman talking to the umpire. Hodges and Gowers. Gowers won the tap. Off the ground by Cooper. Didn't go very far. Brown was over the top of him. Caught a Hawthorn player there. Baxter. Now Condon. Anderson runs him to the line and a throw in.
Is there a statute of limitations if you're reported for abusing the umpire when you can claim it's the same conversation, Ross?
It's just a recording.
The same conversation all night,
Gowers, Hodges. Collins round the body to halfback. Platten outnumbered. Bickley was there with McDermott. Free kick to McDermott against Platten, but nothing really happening. Is that no free, no 50. Bickley looking for something extra for McDermott. Now goes short. McDermott to Bickley, who's run up to about 45 metres.
Done a good job on Platten too, Bruce.
Notice Platten not playing in the centre square tonight. He's been playing more as a half-forward wingman. Pinch hitter rather than ball getter, as Bickley kicks from 50. Great looking kick. Is that a goal? It is. No, hit the post. Gee, I actually thought the player ran across and hit the post with his running through, but I was in a very poor position, by the way, from here. I'm not claiming the umpire's wrong, but that's the way it looked. 5-6-7-2. Second time an Adelaide player's hit the post tonight. I think Groom was the other one in the first quarter. But for Adelaide, at least they've had it in attack. They hadn't had it for a long time. Hawthorn have kicked the last 5 goals. Jenke bangs it down the centre. Wiedemann crashes through. Tregenza sidesteps cleverly. The ball was touched off the boot. Jarman in the front spot. Gets a free kick.
Took the mark anyway, but he's got head front posse. And if he does that and concentrates on the footy, I think the talking does pep him up a bit, but it might pep him out if he's not careful. Actually, it was well done by Tregenza. A bit of heavy traffic there. Got his ball to boot very quickly, and cleverly done. Just held his player up in. Yankee, well done. Baxter, I should say.
Drop pump by Jarman, and he squeezed it through. He has. So Jarman gets his first goal, and Adelaide at 6-6 to 7-2.
If they could just settle and realise they just need to keep making the most of their opportunities when they do go forward, Adelaide. Wiedemann there just instinctively forward, the right thing on that occasion, and again instinctively by Tregenza. And a good finish by Jarman. They're still in this game if they just make the most of those forward thrusts.
Seesawing affair this. Hawthorn by 2 points now. Pittman, who's done well on the ball, gets it down. McGuinness held a long time in the tackle. Quick hands got it away. McGuinness to Platten, who boots it towards half forward. Hudson paid the mark. Paul Hudson down towards half forward. Goes out wide. Lacks marking. Ayres. Meters in the clear.
Yeah, that's Hodges' man.
Ayres goes for distance towards the kick-off line. Dunstall in front. Gowers couldn't control it. Sliding in there was Cooper. Tried to soccer it off the ground. Set himself for it. This is Hart with plenty of support. Ball crows. Tregenza comes away. A third bounce. He's fastidious with his bouncing. Gets it over the top. Wiedemann. Not so with his hand passing. That was a shocker. Hudson cleverly. This is Allen left half forward. Good kick to Gowers into open space. Well, if you've got that time, you can't waste it coming out. They've been caught badly on the rebound. Jarman. Tailor-made like dominoes back down the ground once they turned it over. What a mark.
Yes, without detracting from Jarman's mark, which is absolute beauty there. Just set himself magnificently, but Simon Tregenza has to realise that if he takes a bounce out of defence and the player is on, he must kick the ball to him. The more he bounces, the more the players get out of play, and he leaves himself with nowhere to go. He ends up handballing to Wiedemann, who's in all sorts of trouble, and he's not a good deliverer of the footy anyway.
Here's Jarman, 15 metres out goal. 8-2 plays 6-6.
Yes, and without thrashing the point, it must be terribly frustrating for teammates and coaches alike when not only Simon Tregenza but other players do the same thing. You cannot just keep bouncing the ball like that and then the handball to a player who's not in a good position with his back to the play, and a turnover results in a goal, albeit from a fantastic mark.
Hudson's made a bit of difference when he's come on. He was the one that ripped it off Wiedemann there. They've done better with Hudson. Great mark, Jarman. Spectacular. We've seen 3 brilliant marks tonight. 2 in that fashion, Pittman and Jarman, and the other one by Modra. 6-6, 8-2. Fascinating first half at Football Park. A game of fluctuating fortunes as Pittman goes. Darren Jarman has been very good. You expected him to save something for tonight. Wiedemann bangs it out of the centre square to centre half forward. Andrew Jarman didn't quite hold it long enough. Brown off the ground. They should get a goal here, surely.
Oh.
No. Surely isn't the case. Jenke goes wide. Hart's handball. Darren Jarman, arrogantly, just took them on. He's playing a game here tonight. Tucks it under the shoulder. Gets rid of another one. And goes bang from centre wing. And gets Tony Hall.
And that's the difference, Bruce.
And Hall quickly plays on and gets Condon. And Hawthorn have turned this second quarter right around. Condon goes short again. Adelaide in a mess.
Some of those midfield players now, like Wiedemann, who's picking up Ben Allen, just tiring now. They can't pick up the player when their rebound football happens. And they just sat off too far. 5 and 10 metres, just far too far away. And there's no way known you can pick up anyone, even if you are Peter Matera or Tony McGuinness.
Ben Allen from 40 metres out. Drop punt. Hawthorn kicking well tonight. Another one. Very accurate, this Hawthorn side at 9-2 to 6-6, and Darren Jarman magnificently set that up on from the back pocket right up to centre wing.
Yes, and he had the ability then to look up on each occasion after bouncing the ball to see whether he had someone to deliver the ball to. He didn't put his forwards out of position, and then his kick in the end was just perfect.
Danger time now for Adelaide.
14 points the difference. Just over 6 minutes till half time. Deer goes up and gets it down. Jarman so good tonight at getting it out of the centre square. Interesting. He bounced the ball in about the same position that we saw Tregenza have it for the other side. And the disposal said it all so far. The difference between these two sides underlined. Greg Deer. Wiedemann's got it. Platten's got him. Out wide it comes. Anderson gets on the end of it to Brown. Now the Crows needing a goal. Brown storms away from centre. Good use of the ball. That should be 50. I thought the man was late and was really trying to make smart pay, but it was rather crude. A couple of steps at least.
Change being made by Graham Corns. Hodges off. Liptak to come on, so tall for a short.
Smart now will kick from outside the 50. Goes for distance. Good looking effort. Modra works his way in front, off hands, and a minor score. Matthew Liptak on the ground. Turns 23 today. Here's Jenke to put it in. These set plays a bit like a blind date. Never quite sure what's going to happen. He finds Jarman up the ground eventually. Do you like the set plays?
I like the blind dates.
They don't have those anymore, do they?
There's Deer over the top to his brother.
Oh dear.
Deer down towards half forward. Lee takes the mark in defence. He's at right half back.
I should say I used to like the blind dates.
It's waiting for that.
This game going to Perth. Centre wing, good mark. Pittman played on. Was a bit lucky.
Well, it's similar to Jarman.
Centering kick. Groom and Smart both go together. Who's reading it? Andrew Jarman foxing a bit. Well played. Tregenza caught. Dropped it. Got rid of it cleverly. McGuinness tries to run off Jarman. I think McGuinness might have the job of tagging Jarman at the moment. McDermott. Oh, not much flexibility for the captain at the moment. McGuinness crashes into Jarman. And it'll be a ball up. I think McGuinness in a tagging role on the man who's turned Adelaide inside out in this quarter. The 2-11s. It's Adelaide desperate for a goal. Another one to Hawthorn, and it's getting dangerous. Groom, there's just no real pattern for Adelaide up forward now. Nothing sophisticated happening at all as they go into attack. Jenke, still Jenke, crashes his way through. Condon out of defence, kicks towards centre wing. Lee attacked it well. Tregenza short. Risciuto, who's died a bit in this term, but he's had some mates, was going to square it to Anderson. Now congested forward line. Nice kick though by the 17-year-old. Modra with a fly. Oh, good mark. Fantastic mark. And from Adelaide's point of view, he must goal here.
Yeah, no question, Bruce. And that change being made by Graham Corns of Hodges off and Liptak onto the ball. McGuinness a bit of a spell, if you can call it, picking up Jarman. What a great mark by Modra.
It's kick 2.
Great timing.
This is where Dunstall kicked the first goal of the match from. Modra, bang, misses. 6-8, 9-2. 2-goal margin. Not much in it, but points with Hawthorn. 6 goals to Dunstall. So he's up to 25 for the year. Modra has 2, so he has 29. There's the old champ, the old warrior. Brings it back in. Gary Ayres.
Long kick. And that's something Hawthorn do. If there's nothing on, they just simply kick it long down the middle. This is Langford. The boots it out wide. Going back with the flight of the ball and met very solidly out there was Cooper. He comes back like a spring-heel jack and deflected it down to Pritchard. Well done. Here's Platten on the outer side wing. It's been well held so far tonight. John Platten. Gives it away. Andrew Jarman. Left half back. The Crows needing a late goal. The clock running down to half-time. He hugs the boundary line. Cooper content to get it across. And it will be tossed in out there. Scott Hodges. One wonders what lies ahead for him, given the form of Tony Modra. They're trying to accommodate both. That won't work. This is Liptak. Dragged off it. Baxter, quick hands. Jarman, high kick. They'll contest on the logo out there. No contest. Gutsy effort there by Beckley. He wanted it most.
And got it. Gives it off to Lee. Lee swings it wide. Good play. Oh, gee, Liptak. Mistake, which means pressure. Groom should go over the top. Oh, played Langford. It was very ordinary from Adelaide. Ben Allen and Will Hawthorn make them pay as they've done all night. On the lead, Hudson, who's added a different dimension to this forward line. Bang, high, into the goal square. Dunstall, you'd reckon he'd get a free kick? No, it's going to bounce through.
Yeah, he's got it, Bruce. It's coming. Oh, it's a goal anyway.
Free kick was going to Dunstall. In fact,
yes.
It's going to come back to him. Well, what do you say about Liptak and Groom back at the other end?
Platts is arguing with the goal umpire. It's not really his decision.
No, it's just that one little mistake, and all of a sudden all your teammates are out of position because they've been running forward to help create. Then the turnover comes and your teammates are out of position. The Hawthorn players running back into their own forward line, creating space. And again, the goal results.
And this will be 7 goals to Dunstall. With about a minute to go before, less than a minute to go before half-time. Fantastic opening half by the champ. Through it goes. And 5 goals in this term for Dunstall. 10-2 to 6-8. And those mistakes for Adelaide are they're paying dearly for it.
Yes, he got back quickly, Dunstall, because he'd also led when Hudson did, but he turned around very quickly, and the 2 Adelaide players interfering with each other there, Maynard and Rouvray, causing the collision into Dunstall.
8 goals to 2 in this term. There's the time remaining till half-time. Deer at the second attempt. Platten down to Allen. They have dominated the centre square. Sliding in there, McDermott on his knees. Shovels a hand pass out wide. Liptak met solidly by Cooper going in the other direction. Jarman again. Sock is at about 20 metres further afield. Down goes Lee. McDermott took his time. Kicks it towards half forward. Nothing doing there. Cooper drifting back. Takes the mark. Tries to swing it out wide. That's ambitious. Tregenza was interfered with. Should have got a free. Almost held the mark. With dash. Nicely done, Ricciuto. Squares the ball on the siren. So Ricciuto, a good term, but in general terms, it's been Hawthorn. They've come back terrifically well. 10-2 to 6-8 at half-time. So after trailing by 4-5 to 2-2 at quarter-time, the Hawks dug deep and found something. And we're set, I think, for a very entertaining second half, given that this massive crowd very much supporting the Adelaide Crows. Can they come back? 10-2, 6-8. We'll find out.
Well, big third quarter, isn't it? 10-2, 6-8. Anderson Condon had a go at it at centre wing. There's been no love lost here. I feel that Hawthorn tactically have certainly won the first half. They did on the scoreboard, and they roughed up Adelaide a bit. Jarman banged it out of the centre. Liptak, very poor option. The reflex stuff would have been a lot better than grabbing it and then turning around and sweeping one. Tregenza, McGuinness caught by Ayres, and it's going to be a bounce down. So we see Graham in his first match, and Crawford, who kicked 5 goals. In the match that Platten didn't play, that was against Sydney. Gavin Dorr, Darren Goldspink, the 2 umpires. Darren Jarman went without a Brown's quick kick to centre half forward. Langford able to just push Groom underneath it and then took it cleverly, and very well played to Cooper. Nice touch there by Langford, the centre half back. He's played most of his footy in the goal square. Here's Baxter, who certainly had the better of Jarman in containing him at least. Maynard took a fly. Pittman at the back. Platten to Paul Deer. Now Dunstall on a lead. That's the way he'll go. Dunstall cleverly runs Smart underneath it. Dunstall and Smart. Still Dunstall. Paul Hudson. And he's going to get a free kick. Well, he just slid down the tackle, and it was high in the end. A bit of a soft one, but Hudson getting it, and we mentioned a couple of times what an impact he had. Yes, the tackle was high. It's an eerie feeling at this ground, isn't it, when Adelaide are getting beaten? You just don't hear anything from 48,000 people.
It's like being at the Sydney Cricket Ground.
Hudson from 45 metres, drop punt. to the front of the square. Hawthorn with some numbers at the back. Platten ridden to the ground. Is it out? Maynard runs it through. It's a behind. So Hawthorn, who kicked 8 straight goals in the second term, have a rush one here, a behind at 10-3 to 6-8.
And Bruce Graham-Corns, in putting Smart to fullback, does limit his options up forward if they break down there. It's very important that Hodges gets some touches early.
Close to the boundary line. Socket across by Tregenza. It'll be thrown in. Taking a closer look. If it's at the scoreboard, it's not too encouraging at the moment. Pittman's in front. Paul Deere works his way in front. Strong customer. Pittman wins from behind though. Paul Deere soccers it forward. Wiedemann in the grasp. Bickley run down from behind. Battling in there was Hall. Picked up by Hudson close to the boundary line. Floats it out of bounds on the full. So Andrew Jarman will get his 9th possession up from the back pocket. So much to do for the Crows in this second half. Lost their first game last week, in danger of losing 2 on the trot. Around the outer side, Maynard in front, held it a long time. Hodges couldn't control it. Eventually does. Tregenza. McDermott in trouble. Not a bad option, but Hodges takes it across the boundary line. Darren Jarman gets him, and what's that for? Relayed, I think. Perhaps McDermott was put down unfairly late. So Hodges on the outer side goes down towards right half forward. Langford. He's simply too strong for young Groom at the present time. Maynard pushed off the ball. Pritchard went to ground. So did Brown. Langford comes back. He's ridden into the turf. And a whistle.
Yes, when it becomes body-to-body stuff, Dennis, all around the ground, a lot of the Crows players, whilst they have bulked up and got that strength they so-called need, they still need more. And someone like Groom is deficient at the moment, only because of his youth, against a player like Langford when it is that sort of contest.
Yes, the 19-year-old against the 30-year-old. One bloke's played 220 games, the other one about 4. McDermott's quick kick, but no finesse with McDermott tonight. Under great pressure every time he gets the footy. Hawthorn have really marked him. And a good kick by Allen to Greg Deere. Back to Cooper. He's been steady. Here's Baxter running off Jarman. Paul Deere. Greg Deere inside. Good build up here by Hawthorn. Dunstall will be a target. Smart works to the front of him. Paul Hudson, free kick going against Hawthorn this time for a push. And Smart to get it. As Ross said, you're robbing something to put him there. Oh, gee, Wiedemann. Kick had a fair bit on it. I know Wiedemann's got Deere now holding the footy. Free kick to Wiedemann. But Smart going back there on Dunstall just takes away an option up forward for Adelaide.
Very defensive.
You just wonder, you've got to attack 3 goals behind. The kick by Anderson round the body. Here's Brown. Clever. And Liptak runs it out.
Just wonder about the wisdom there of Wiedemann's hand pass in a set play situation where you can think about it, sending Anderson away on his right foot. I mean,
Hodges in the front spot. Liptak. Poor kick. Gave Groom little chance. Langford under some pressure runs it to the boundary line and out of play. So Adelaide in the pocket, attacking. Modra with 2 goals and Dunstall with 7 at the other end.
Boundary throw in. Langford in front. Hits it back towards the boundary line. Condon did nicely in a tight situation, but headed for the boundary. Has it gone out yet? Not according to the umpire, who sets a pick. Hodges goes around it, but couldn't keep it in. So boundary throw in once more. Adelaide making no impression so far. 6-8. That was their half-time score. The Hawks have had it behind. Langford with strength. Dragged off it, though. The kick only went about 10 metres. Jarman to McDermott. Towards full forward. It could bounce through. Instead, it sits up on its end. Taken by Jarman. Darren Jarman, who boots it to the outer side. Problems for the Crows now. Allen uses the ball pretty well. He goes down towards half forward. Paul Deere coming up the ground, almost on the wing now. Collins is on for his centred kick. He ignores that. Going back, Lee got his fingertips to it, and just as well. And it's run across the boundary line by Smart. Lee just touching that ball, changing its flight. Had it proceeded, I'm sure it would have hit Dunstall on the chest.
And doesn't the ball change direction very, very quickly?
Darren Jarman's great kick to Allen and then bangs it around to Deere. Wiedemann running over the mark, Deer turning him inside out and going forward. Pittman, good tap. Bickley. Round the body. Pressure for Adelaide all the time. Tregenza and Pritchard. Greg Deer gets rid of Tregenza. Handball by Pritchard. Put the Hawthorn player Cooper under pressure. And it's going to be a bounce down at half-back. Rashuto on camera there, the 17-year-old who's kicked a goal. He's had some touches, but fell apart a bit in that second term, as the team did. Over the top goes the Hawks, that time Condon, and out of play. So quiet opening to the second half, which is just what Hawthorn would have wanted. Hold it up, make sure Adelaide don't come out with anything inspired. Big build-up from the crowd at half-time, and nothing happening for the Crows is just what the Hawks would have wanted early in this third quarter.
Pittman gets it down, looking for lead. Knocked it the wrong way. Platten slides in. It's out of bounds once more. So unrelenting stuff at the present time. Tough, not pretty. Scott Lee thrown in on the outer side. Pittman in front of Deer. Falls behind the pair of them. Baxter did well. This is Condon. Hudson pulls it back. A very good kick. They wrestle down there. Smart and Dunstall. Wiedemann needs to take it cleanly. Looking for a free kick. It goes out of bounds. Well, I suppose the lesson, Ross, as far as the Crows are concerned, when Hawthorn set themselves, it's still a daunting prospect, isn't it?
Oh, no question. And they just are controlling the game. This is the way they like to play it. Tight, no finesse.
He's a master at that, is Paul Deer, taking it from the boundary throw-ins close to goal. Slapped out of there by Gowers. Picked up by Jarman. He released it perfectly. Taken by Lee towards midfield. Well, Ricciuto a little bit reluctant to go at that one and gives away the free kick. Greg Deer in the centre square, chips it out wide. Collins within range. Well, almost. He goes to Platten. Platten now will kick from right on the 50. John Platten directly in front. Dunstall is right back on the goal line. Platten goes for it all and misses to the right-hand side of behind.
Ten forward, 6-8. Just a couple of points scored in the first 10 minutes of this third quarter. Ben Hart wide to Maynard. It's had a quiet one. Started all right. Lee, it was pinpoint accuracy there from Maynard. Needed to be. Liptak, who's been very poor since he's come on. He's made a couple of mistakes. Ben Allen. Greg Deer in the centre square. Swings it to Hall. Well played. Hart, who's played a very reliable defensive game. Off the ground, Pritchard. Hudson's been excellent. Hall short to Platten again. Good mark, Platten. Stretched it. And Hawthorn just building it up and building it up. And slowly but surely taking the Crows apart.
Yes, and Hudson was free. Ran right from the other side of the 50-metre line to get that footy.
Platten drop punt. And he's missed that one too, so he'd be disappointed. Two shots that have been relatively simple. And a couple of behinds. And you just feel that if Hawthorn can kick 2 goals here in a rush, it was just about
break right away.
So it was all over. As Hart about to bring it back in. Offensively, Adelaide has struggled since they booted that big score against Richmond. They were going to kick a big score against West Coast and were held up. Kicked 15 against Fitzroy and then could manage only 9 last time against Melbourne.
Round the outer side they go. Allen, the leaper from behind. Liptak to his own advantage. Can they make something of this? From right half forward, kicks it inside the 50. Modra slipped over. This is still a live one. It hasn't been touched as it runs back towards the goal line. Jenke is back. He stumbles. He's in trouble. Langford out wide. Baxter plays on immediately. Condon pulls it back towards the wing. A clever little kick. Close to the boundary line. Hudson content to run it across. It will be thrown in. Well, amazing really, because they've only got 6 tonight. Now, there's going to be a free kick against Darren Jarman. He made some contact with Scott Lee. I wasn't quite watching.
Yes, it was retaliation from Jarman and the lead push. And I tell you, Jarman was lucky. He nearly touched the umpire there too.
They still jostle off the ball as Liptak is met pretty solidly. Pushing the back surely to the Hawthorn player. That may be Baxter in there, is it? It's a free kick in any case. In fact, it's Ben Allen. So Allen at right half back. Kicks it towards the wing. Platten, the leaper. Bickley with the judgment. They just need to kick the ball, Adelaide. This is Platten. Well done. Good evasion. Platten down towards right half forward. Wiedemann from behind. Didn't make contact with the ball. He leads back in the race. He'll want his left side. Oop, shows a bit of the ball to Hawthorn. McDermott under pressure. Back it comes to Bickley. Bickley kicks it to Anderson. Just making the point, they've got 6 goals, Adelaide. 4 of them came within a 5-minute spell.
High one by Anderson to centre. Hodges with a leap. Groom, well done Groom, in a tight situation. Gives Modra half a chance. 1 out. It was a tough ball to control. Well played Modra. Jenky with him. Very well played Modra. Brilliantly played a goal. What a bit of footy that was. Oh, it was sensational. His third.
Well, you have to stand and applaud, don't you? That was just outstanding play. It was good play by Groom initially to get that ball out quickly, and the ball didn't really favour Modra as a bouncing pull. The only thing that favoured him, the fact that he was in front, Jenky on his hammer the whole way, and to size that up, what a great off break.
Well, it's the sort of goal that can lift a side. Will it lift the Adelaide Crows? They trail by 15 points. Pittman knocks it forward. McDermott brings it out of the centre. Big roar from the crowd. Modra, who produced the magic, comes out in front. Fisted away by Jenky. Pritchard was up. Couldn't control it through, and Tregenza measures it and kicks another one. Or has he?
Missed it.
He's missed. Well, he should have kicked it. Still easy to say from up here. The hard work was done. It set in free, but the kick missed to the left-hand side. And a buzz goes around Footy Park. 7-9, 10-5.
Yes, it really does lift, though, Dennis. You're right when you say a goal like that can lift a team. No matter how flat you are, that can be such a lift.
Jenky to Ayres. Pushes it wide. Baxter, free kick against McGuinness. There's another one of the Adelaide playmakers who's now in a defensive role. Pritchard on. Hall, good take. Hart's kept him pretty well under control. But Hall inside to Condon. Played on. Made some space. Got caught by McGuinness. Gives it back up. Gows's high one. The 2 Jarman set themselves. Darren gives a free kick away. It's one of the negatives about the Jarmans. They're so brilliant, but they do give a lot of free kicks away in situations. Pittman goes wide to McGuinness, who's had a quiet night. McGuinness to the centre wing. Maynard, nice play. Lip tap. Looks for Modra.
And they ain't easy to take either, I can tell you.
That was a terrific move.
Yeah. Good persistence from McGuinness down the back end there to chase and just offset the Hawthorn players there. He had an option coming wide with his kick to go to Bickley on the other side there, but it went wide and they got away with it. Some quick hands. Oh, gee. Well, admire that as much as what Dunstall's done tonight.
We're getting a feast, aren't we, at both ends?
Right.
The two full forwards, the young buck, so to speak, and the great champion at the other end. As Modra from 40 metres out, straight in front, drop punt, leans back, goals. Well, he did it against Fitzroy, turned it round, and twice tonight he's given Adelaide stimulation. He's inspired the Modra, and suddenly they're back in this.
Very important 11 minutes or so of football for Adelaide, Bruce, so they can just control Hawthorn, get a couple more goals, even another one, just to bridge that gap. And once three-quarter time comes, they're in striking distance or equal with Hawthorn. It makes all the difference.
Suddenly the crowd's become a factor, doesn't it?
That's right. Hawthorn have been so successful in taking the crowd out of this. Have them to contend with again now. Collins slaps it out wide. McDermott slides in there. Jarman on top of him. And a bounce. It's Platten at the base of that. Official attendance tonight, 46,689. What a terrific crowd. It's been a great game. Generally Hawthorn on top, but a long way to go yet. Greg Deere sends that one a long way. Andrew Jarman across half back towards half forward. It runs free. Allen gets back first. Swings it across the ground. Condon in front. Anderson striving. Held him.
Just enough. The free kick was there.
Condon towards half forward. Hall got a hand to it. Over the top, Hart gets it out of bounds. And the crowd applauding almost everything now. Deathly quiet early in the term, almost turning on their team, you felt. But their team has come back strong. Condon worked out of it. Platten slides in there, and a whistle. Well, for so long, people have been predicting the demise of Hawthorn, including yours truly, but invariably they come back with something like this. They will not be put down. Jarman out of the congestion. Bickley had a decision to make and made the right one with a lot of courage. From centre wing towards half forward. Broom was up. Couldn't hang on. Taken by Liptak, who slipped.
To Brown. To Modra.
Well, his stand effort by Bickley is equally as outstanding as the effort by Modra to kick his goal when he fell over. Just to get through that traffic, steady the footy, then find someone, push the ball forward under congested area, or in a congested area, and then to finish off the passage of play there to find Modra is just terrific stuff.
Liptak's option was good too, to bring it back in where he could have run the boundary. Yeah.
Best thing he's done all night.
But he's kicked 4, Modra. Will this be 5 to bring Adelaide within 2 points? Leans back, drop punt, straight through. Well, he must be the most exciting player this competition seen for a while, this man, Modra.
This is a play. He could be an enigma in one end, but I don't think he will be. I think he'll realise his potential, particularly if the Crows continue to improve. The ball would down his way often enough for him to take as many options as he can, and he is such a sure ball handler. He's not a fumbler, and he's a consistent player, so that's a great plus.
2 points the margin, just under 9 minutes till three-quarter time. Platten out of the centre, kicks it inside the 50, and Hall got rid of Hart, and lunging back has taken this mark about 35 metres out from goal.
He's done a great job, Ben Hart, on Hall. He's really stuck to his guns. He's kept a player who can be very dangerous out of the contest, and just a bit of strength and experience there by Hall. Not much there that Ben Hart could do.
So, at least for the present, will the Crows be thwarted by a former South Australian? Hall has missed to the right-hand side.
Gee, Dennis, the former South Australians have been kind to them this quarter. Platten twice and Hall. They could have buried them if Platten had kicked those 2.
Old allegiances die hard. 10-6-9-9.
Hart to McGuinness. Didn't gain a lot. But McGuinness normally a long kick, and he was that time. Brown, good take. Bickley, who's become a factor in this quarter. Tregenza, quick kick to half forward. Hodges at the back, good grab. Very good grab. Now, he's a thumping kick. He's a long way out, but he should be able to get it in the Modra direction in a hurry, and that's exactly what he's done. A high one. Could Modra take this? He got pushed out. Jenke got rid of him. Deer's quick kick. A bouncing ball. Pittman slayed it off, but Platten has been very busy in this quarter. Nice play. Squared it up to Condon. Condon goes wide. Hall. Hart. Good control by Hall, but Hart with him, and cleverly refuses to give away a free kick. And it's good play by Hart.
Yes, reminds me a lot of Guy McKenna, Ben Hart, just unflustered all the time, just does the little thing.
A lot of blokes, Ross, have just run straight into the back of someone who's got control of the footy. He doesn't now. Anderson after Wiedemann, and Anderson goes bang to Modra. Well, they've found their full forward. There's no question about that.
And were there some droopy heads in the crowd at half-time? A lot of people questioning whether Adelaide had the legs and the impetus to come back in this third quarter, and by gee, they've done it. But it's really only been, what, 5 minutes of footy again, and as you mentioned, they kicked the bulk of their score in the first half in 5 minutes of footy.
Well, he's closing on Dunstall again in their battle here tonight. 7 goals, Dunstall, and Modra with a real rush here, going for his 4th goal in this term, and bang, has he hooked it? I think he has. A behind. Misses. Well, that was the one to put Adelaide in front. And will they get another opportunity? The 47,000 people here want them to, but the Hawks will be tough. Haven't lost 3 in a row since 1981. Anderson with a fly. Still Anderson can't get through. Gets a free kick. And he too is a thumping kick and will give this a ride. He's looking for 50, Condon.
dual up here.
Aren't they?
One of the highlights of this game. Condon mightn't have the ball, but he feels obliged to speak as Anderson goes long down towards the kick-off line. Modra, a bit of pushing behind. Liptak, half a chance. He had it, then lost it. Over high.
Free kick coming down the ground, Dennis. I think because Liptak kicked the ball after. Yeah, he is too. He's bringing the ball right down.
Langford got a free kick against Modra. Modra pushing.
The push, was that what it was?
Yeah, and then Liptak's played it on.
The umpires waved the flags.
Yes, they have.
The umpires have waved the flag, so has it gone on the board? That's the question. That's interesting. They obviously waved the flags without getting the all clear, so Jenke has the ball in midfield. Have they annulled them yet? I'm not sure that they have.
No, they've left them up at 9-11, 10-6. I think the real score is 9-10, 10-6.
The other end, Dunstall has the ball meantime. So Dunstall has kicked 7. Modra has 5. And they're so alike, this pair, in the way they play their football. On the lead, that's their strength. And here's Dunstall judging it perfectly. Fine kick coming in too. So Dunstall a chance to make it 8. Just to add to the drama, we think the scoreboard, at least at the ground, is wrong. Dunstall kicks. It's touch and go. He's missed. Slid it across the face.
First one tonight, eh? 7 straight before that. So Hawthorn have had 4 shots for goal that you'd back them in on. Platten 2, Hall 1 and Dunstall 1. And they've gone from 10-2 to 10-7 in this quarter. McGuinness for the second time. This time Hart able to get it a bit longer to him. And the breaks might be going Adelaide's way. Long kick to centre wing. Tregen's unable to. Pritchard. Brown. And the ball up. 10-7, 9-11 the scoreboard reads, but we think it is 10-7, 9-10. We'll find out at three-quarter time. There'll be an official count. McDermott. Prosciutto. McGuinness run down. Brown high tackle on him.
It's interesting with that run down. Is that not a push in the back? As you come from behind, irrespective, you are not allowed to push a player in the back. And he was carried forward, McGuinness there. It happens so often, the umpires don't pick it up.
I'm not sure too if they haven't annulled his score, whether they can actually take it off.
Hodges with a big thump. No one for Adelaide. Although Modra able to put some pressure on Allen, who makes a mess of it and holding the free. Well, Modra making something out of nothing there for Adelaide, and pretty hot on Allen.
Well, the pressure was on Allen, Bruce, and he was one that he saw Modra coming. He looked up, took his eyes off the footy, looking for a free kick. Didn't make a great effort at all to get the ball out until it was too late. The umpire blew his whistle.
Red hot here as Modra to go. I say red hot, a red hot tackle and a tough decision to call, but Modra from 30 metres out, well, he kicked number 6. Drop punt, gives it a hook, misses again. Well, suddenly, the man with the golden touch has kicked 5-3, kicked 1 out of bounds on the fall, and at both ends of the ground, goals are becoming very hard to find. We'll call it at 9-11 to 10-7 at the moment, even though the scoreboard says 9-12, 10-7. Dennis is just flicking through the AFL rules to check as Langford goes back. Want me to keep calling for half an hour or so, Dennis?
If you wouldn't mind, Bruce, yes.
Groom. With 2.5 minutes remaining, goes wide. Modra on a lead. Sets himself. Not this time. Oh, McGuinness caught. Play on called. Langford. Quick kick. Up to centre wing, hugged the boundary. Good kick by Langford. Out of play. Langford now on Modra.
Good to see from the Crows' point of view too, Bruce, that players like Brown and Liptak have lifted. Brown particularly just getting more of the ball around the ground, taking the pressure off players like McGuinness and Jarman.
Yeah, Bruce, you have a go. On the outer side.
The goals are behinds bit.
Yep. There's Lee. Good mark. I'm just not sure that they can take it off. They shouldn't have signalled prior to getting the all clear. So the ball around the outer side. The flyer was Pittman. This is McGuinness. Allen. Away to Pritchard, who goes in short to Platten. So Platten on the outer side towards half forward. over the head of Collins. Coming up was Lee, taken by Tregenza. Hard against the boundary line. He boots it towards half forward. McGuinness off his chest, tapped away by Ayres. Good shepherd from McGuinness. Put his skipper some time. Ayres a high kick around the outer side. The leaper was Hart. Taken high was Lee. We'll get the free kick. So the scoreboard at the ground showing Hawthorn by a point. As Lee boots towards half forward. Ayres nudged out of it by Hodges. I think the free kick is going to be paid. It'll come back to Ayres, who has it forward of left half back. So the Crows have come back strongly in this term. Good mark on the outer side, juggled by Hudson. Hudson just forward of the wing, told to play on now. Kicks it long inside the 50. Dunstall comes up, almost a spectacular mark. They had the numbers on the ground. Smart dives in. He's over the ball. He's been over it a long time. And he's penalised for holding it. Well, he wasn't controlling it, but by the same token, it was under his body.
Yeah, similar to the Ben Allen incident at the other end with Tony Modra. If you're given an opportunity to get rid of the footy, you must do it very quickly. It seems harsh. Watch this again. Smart makes the play, trying to control it, looked up to try and get rid of it, then lost control. The ball still remains under his body and he is penalised.
For number 8, Jason Dunstall, to buy some breathing space for the Hawks. They lead by a point. Good looking effort. It's a goal.
(11-7 to 9-11). So an 8-point margin.
And the local crowd getting upset at that decision, but it's correct one as the rule says. The umpire interpreting that the right way. Dunstall nearly a mark there. A great fly. Pritchard following up, and then just it could have been either Pritchard or Dunstall taking that kick. Dunstall on to take it, and 8-1 on his book.
It's a great night's work. So 9 seconds of this third term remaining. Paul Deere, little give to Platten was very good. Well, he was lucky to get that one, I think. But the siren sounds and Platten from the centre square.
Have a shot.
Torpedo punty will try and doesn't get onto it. So at three-quarter time, we think the score is Hawthorn 11-7 to 9-11. The scoreboard is saying 9-12. We should get some sort of a ruling on it at three-quarter time. What a great third quarter it was. So at three-quarter time, it's 73 the Hawks and 65 the Crows. He liked to sting Hawthorn here. 9-12, 11-7, 66 to 73 in the final term now. Pittman to go and wins the tap. Crashing through was Jenke, tapped on by Risciuto, who is still on the ground. Platten's quick kick around the body. Lee Wiedemann, Andrew Jarman. Quick kick away to centre wing. Anderson with the run of it. Got a good bounce and took advantage of it and then bangs it to half forward. Modra and Robin getting it against McGuinness. So this is just the start he wanted.
Yes, the player off, I should say, is Groom, Bruce, not Risciuto. Groom coming off for the taller player, similar player in Robin. A chance to have his first kick and put it through.
7-point margin. So a kick from 50 metres. Drop punt. Kicked it right to the front and through for a behind. So a 6-point margin. And Dennis, you'll be delighted to know that score did stand, and it's 9-13 to 11-7.
Not quite as we thought, though, Bruce, because I was just talking with the umpire's observer. That's Des Foster at the ground. He said actually the kick, as you called, was paid for wasting time. That soccer away afterwards. So the push in the back we saw on Langford, in fact, wasn't paid. So the score came after the all clear, but had it been incorrectly signalled without an all clear, they can't annul it, as we were saying. So all things are as they should be. We finally got the result. Langford doesn't get a result. He was looking for Platten. He delayed it far too long. And the birthday boy, Matthew Liptak, drifted in to take the mark. Now, what an important kick this is. Liptak, from 35 metres out, 45-degree angle, kicks and kicks pretty well. It's bending left to right. Just missed. It fell away on the last 5 metres of its journey.
It's one of the first few times, if not the only time, I've seen that penalty paid against a player who's tended with the ball after it's gone over the line.
What confused us, of course, was Langford was pushed in the back, it seemed to us. Ricciuto, very high kick back towards the 50. A little nudge there by Allen. Won him the ball on the ground. Well played. Hurried kick towards midfield. Andrew Jarman's there. Thought about going. Now he does. Across the ground. Good vision. Hodges is on further for Anderson if he can move the ball quickly enough. He delayed it long enough to give Hawthorn a chance down there. Hodges and Ayres. It falls behind. Taken by Langford. Charged down by Brown. Langford goes off the ground and found Darren Jarman around the outer side. He's played very well. Kicks through centre towards half forward. Spectacular attempt. He didn't hold it, Tony Hall. It's out of bounds and a throw in.
Not sure why Greg Anderson could not have seen Hodges at all. He must have been looking specifically for Modra, because Hodges was certainly very clear.
Pittman, Gowers was at the back. Platten, his first goal, absolutely vital. Condon smothered by Rodney Maynard. Tries to sell one to Platten. Wiedemann, high kick, straight out of bounds on the full. Well, he was tight. There wasn't a lot of space. But wasn't much finesse. He gained 1.5 yards and has given away one to Cooper, who chips it to Condon. Stuck the boot out to make sure that Jarman wasn't going to get in his road. Condon from half forward. The kick to Dunstall. Well, it was a great lead, a perfect kick and a very good mark.
What's interesting, Bruce, he started almost a step behind Smart and took off, and within 3 steps was in front clearly, and Smart was never going to catch him.
Might have to put Modra back on him, Ross.
Oh, that would be interesting. Oh dear.
Well, he's kicked 8, the champ. One of the all-time greats. 814 goals in his career. I think this ties Bernie Quinlan if he kicks it at 8:15, number 6 on the all-time list. Leans back right there, doesn't quite get there. Is it a Hawthorn mark? The Hall it is. Great mark in front of a pack of about 7 players, all reaching for the footy, and Tony Hall stretches himself to take it.
Yes, the expectation was that Dunstall was going to get the ball much closer to goal, perhaps even to score, but Hall, even with Pittman throwing arms around, good mark and goal.
That's the one Hawthorn wanted. They've got the last 2, one just before 3/4 time to Dunstall and one to Hall. That's his first, and Hawthorn lead in a tight match by 11 points.
Yes, in the context of this match, that's a nice lead to have. Few of the players tiring, even though it's only just the start of this last quarter. It'll be interesting to see now how some of the Adelaide players run out this game.
Another test for the Crows then. 79 plays 68. Still plenty of time. Pittman and Greg Deere. Up they go. David Pittman got the best of it twice. He's hurt. He copped a wayward boot there in the stomach, I think. Robran got it from Anderson. Kicks it inside the 50. Modra outnumbered. This is Cooper in trouble. Did nicely. Kept his head. Boots it across field. Tregenza favoured by the kick. Almost the mark. Couldn't hang on. And now Pritchard runs away. Had to be a one grabber there. Beckley interfered with Jarman, I thought. No free kick. Taken high. Ricciuto. And throw it in, says the umpire. Well, quite a few missed there. No damage done. All square in the wash-up. Robran got it down to Jarman. Maynard to McGuinness. One of his quietest games in the AFL-VFL, I'd suggest. Taken high, Ricciuto. Over the ball is McGuinness. Goes looking for Platten. McGuinness again. Scrambled it forward. Tregenza close to the boundary line. He turns around and confronted about 3 Hawks. Well done by Pritchard. Got it to Allen. Pushed off the ball. Platten. Pritchard comes again to Gowers to Platten. Platten left half forward. Well shepherded by Gowers. From 60 metres out goes Long. Dunstall out of position. Bumped away by Smart. Out of bounds in the pocket.
Big moment here for the Crows. Couple of goals behind. Hawthorn mounting a strong attack here to try and put some space between them and break their heart. Lee's quick kick away. Gets some distance. Good take by Ayres. Not paid. Hodges battled strongly. Jarman, a free kick against Hodges. for hanging on to Cooper.
Yes, he tried to protect himself. Bruce saw the hip and shoulder coming and just grabbed the play and threw him to the ground. So technically correct by the umpire.
It's bad luck for Adelaide because Jarman had control and some space, and he's so constructive. Gowers from the side. Platten just handed it off quickly. Now Hudson from Hall, bang, goal. A beauty, a beauty. And it could be a killer too. It was a spectacular kick.
I'd like to see that in replay again. I'm not sure he didn't kick this with the ball over the boundary line, Roscoe.
Yes, it's very tight. Platten just a little push forward. There the ball goes out the left hand. From our angle, it certainly looked that way, but gee, by the same token, forgetting that, it was a magnificent kick.
I'm sure the 47,000 will just forget that. So Deere gets it down. Wiedemann, the hurried kick. Just a hint that that ball was kicked over the boundary line by Hudson. Still a miraculous goal. Anderson comes away with it inside the 50. Jenke goes back. Takes the mark on his chest. Well, the Crows in desperate trouble now. This is the sort of game, if they're going to make an impact on the competition, they need to win. Condon goes backwards. That's rather arrogant. The mark is held there by Ayres. He juggled it. He swings it to the wing. In front, Baxter over the top, Jarman. And Jarman has infringed. Baxter to take the free.
Nice kick. Waited it well to Pritchard. Hawthorn on top here at 85-68 to Hudson, who's had a very good night. He's beaten Lee since coming on at quarter time. Good looking kick to Dunstall. And a terrific mark. But Rashudio had himself in a very bad position there. Pressure on him, and just with the one hand couldn't hold it up.
Yeah, some Brown is off for Crows and Rouvray on. And yes, had to go back very solidly to try and intercept that footy. Dunstall in the end took a very good mark.
This for goal number 9. And you would think this would be it. If he can kick this, it would be too much for Adelaide at 13-7 to 9-14. And this is the man that got Hawthorn back in the game in the first half when Adelaide threatened to dominate. Leans back, drop punt, and puts it straight through. Well, you reckon that would be the nail in the coffin at 14-7 to 9-14. It's been a match where teams have dominated in 5-minute spurts, but where is Adelaide going to get its inspiration from?
Yes, and Bruce, without being smart after the event, we mentioned pre-game that if the Crows couldn't control this play, it's going to make it very tough for them. And that's exactly what's happened. As we see young Crawford warming up for Hawthorn.
What a game by Dunstall. There's Ayres towards half forward. And the mark is held by Jarman. He's looking for 50. Couldn't have been that far away. Bickley stands the mark, getting free as Pritchard. No one stands the mark, so Pritchard runs on 45 metres out, misses to the near side. So Adelaide just for the moment in disarray. That's a word the coaches don't like to hear. A couple of D words. Dynasty and disarray. There's the short one from Hart. Anderson's got it. Boots it towards the wing. Rouvray battling there with Paul Deere. Fell behind. Free kick to Rouvray. The crowd haven't liked the umpiring tonight. Rouvray from half back. Through centre wing towards half forward. Liptak read it well. Releases Lee. 70 metres from goal. Modra comes on the lead. Too much carry on that one. But Modra read it best in flight. Leads back in the race. Thought about suffering. Picks it up and kicks a goal. He's got 6. Gee, they needed that one. 10-14, 14-8. It's not gone yet.
No, they're not easy goals to kick those either. The kick coming from Lee looked as if it was always going to carry Modric. Just kicked it too hard. It almost as if he was trying to do that on purpose. And Modric just got Langford under the ball, who started on him in this quarter, with Jenke going to the half-back flank. And under pressure, it's a very good kick.
Six to Modric one end, 9 to Dunstall at the other. Darren Jarman off injured, which is a blow to Hawthorn because he's been outstanding. Liptak went to go off the ground. Jenke well played to Platten. Hawthorn out of the centre, as have been so often tonight, to Ben Allen. Now Allen from centre wing to half forward. Hall, half, good mark, Hart, because he was turned inside out, wasn't he?
Just had to stick his hands out, and they just were so crisp. Just takes the ball so very well, that fellow.
He and Hall, it's been a very good duel. Honours maybe with Hart, though Hall's kicked that important goal in this last quarter. Baxter, who's done a very good job on Andrew Jarman, holding him up. Jarman should get a free, no. He's over the top of it. And there's Darren Jarman, so that's a bad blow for Hawthorn. Young Graham alongside of him, who hasn't had a run tonight.
Scott McGuinness limping too. He's picking up Rodborough, not moving too well.
Well, they've got a good margin, Hawthorn. It's 3 goals. You'd reckon it'd be enough. Andy Collins, run down. Crawford out of play. Centre wing. About 15 minutes remaining. Hawthorn trying to protect its place as a power in the AFL. They've been the most successful club over the last 15 years. A quick kick away by Bickley to centre wing. Liptak chasing it down, but unable to. And a throw in as Adelaide bring it up to the wing, but they trail by 18 points.
Just over 14.5 minutes remaining. Pittman got it down, taken by Condon. Crawford's got it now, fresh legs on the ground. He boots it down towards half forward. Knocked away from Hall by Hart. And to throw in. The margin 18 points. Dunstall 9 goals, Modra 6. So 28 and 33 respectively on the season. 14-8, 10-14. Pittman wins it down. Crawford again to Platten. Gains about 5 metres if that. Jarman dragged down. Crawford again. Jarred loose the ball. Pittman. Down goes McDermott. Was he pushed in the back? Not according to the umpire. Ricciuto the hurried kick, having got the hand pass from Anderson. Maynard gets a hand in there, knocks it out of bounds as we go down to Max Stevens.
Darren Jarman, a strained thigh or driver muscle. It was giving him trouble at three-quarter time, and that's the reason he's off.
Pittman does battle, doesn't do it. McGuinness, Jarman trying to crash his way through. It's pretty tight. This is the way Hawthorn will want it. They'll close it up if they can here. Crawford well played, kept his balance. Left foot kick to position. Rouvray. Paul Deere runs him down and gets him for holding the footy.
And then it might have been a bit high to me. In fact, the umpire just stalled for a while there, Bruce. And that's what the crowd's calling for in front of the umpire there. The decision was made.
Deere's kick to centre half forward. No mark. Oh, yes, it is. Well, here's the Rouvray one.
Yep.
What's the left arm?
Yeah, over the top there. On the shoulder.
And then the Pritchard mark at centre half forward. He's normally a good kick, Pritchard. He's kicked 2 points tonight, and this would be curtains if he goes here. They're 3 in front, Hawthorn. 14-8 to 10-14, and this should seal it as he leans back and puts it through. And the gate should be closed now at 15-8 to 10-14.
Yes, it's not completely out of reach of Adelaide, Bruce, but it's certainly the context of this game makes it look very, very difficult. So we just see this on replay once more. The free kick here, firstly, I thought was there from Deere on Rouvray. And the resulting kick coming across to where the mark taken not by Pritchard. Your decision, not a mark for me. The umpire blew his whistle too quickly. The goal results.
So 15-8 to 10-14, just under 13 minutes remain. Down goes Bickley. Jarman had the ball. And Baxter and Ayres had him. Terrific performance this by Hawthorn. They can scent victory now. It's within reach, certainly. The Crows, the way they're playing, would be very hard pressed to get back from here. Wiedemann to no one in particular. Ricciuto against the flow, lost it. Platten, the hurried kick out of the middle. Down towards the pocket, and Hall was turning before he had the ball. As a result, Hart soccers off the ground up towards half-back. Still a loose ball there. Maynard has got Gowers by the arm, and the umpire eventually decides to come across and bounce it down. I think the umpires will get the raw prawn as they come off the ground tonight. The crowd a little restless. There's Allen putting it out of bounds about 15 metres further afield. And the free kick will be taken by Hart. So Ben Hart, as Bruce said, absorbing duel tonight with Tony Hall. He boots it towards the wing. Big pack at the fall of the ball. Hodges goes up and takes a strong grab.
Rodman provides a lead at centre half forward. That's where Hodges goes. Lee at the back, sweating off on it. Liptak. And running it. A free kick coming back to Lee. No, advantage to Liptak. Modra on a lead. Runs Langford underneath it, but Cooper, well played. Must have seen the last play with Modra and Langford. Hawthorn with the numbers. Langford over the top of it. Modra's got hold of him. And well played, Modra. He forced two Hawthorn players to panic and concede a behind.
Kept the ball in the area, Bruce, most important. Made it difficult for them.
10-15 to 15-8. 11 minutes remaining. Adelaide needing 4 goals in 10 minutes to win here. As Langford goes bang down the centre. Pittman's there. Oh, Hodges a strong mark. Now he can kick a footy. He goaled from about here at the MCG on Sunday. Goes bang and kicks it right to the square. Modra in the front spot. Well played Langford to get rid of it. Platten just sort of waited a bit. Oh, Condon caught. Got rid of it in a hurry. Wiedemann and Platten. And again out of play. You'd say Adelaide must score from this attack. Would have to get a goal here. They'll lose some spirit if they can't goal here. They'll just get too far back. Collins, Anderson, McDermott, who's sadly struggling with injury. Good play by Jarman to Wiedemann, who goes bang and misses. 10-16, 15-8.
Yeah, tough task ahead too, Bruce, for the Crows. They've got Collingwood at Vic Park next week, followed by North here, then Essendon at the MCG, and then Brisbane at the Gabba. So not an easy run.
No, suddenly the top team in the competition, beaten by Melbourne last week, and now coming right back to the field.
Margin is 22 points. Ayres kicks it out wide. It bounces just inside the field of play as if by design and goes out. So a throw in on the wing. All the experience, all the guile to the fore tonight. Hawthorn back in business, coming off the bye, and prior to that, of course, a bad loss against the Cats. Wiedemann against the flow, wrestle to the ground, and the umpire decides he'll have it. So bounce on the wing. The Crows led by 15 points, aided by some late goals in the first term. That was at quarter time, but trailed by 18 at half time. And really, that 8-goal second term has set up this victory by Hawthorn. Maynard's got it. Unless the Crows really produce here. Robran with the run of it. Ayres, though, favoured by the bounce. Can he control it? Left it behind. Standing up in the tackle, McGuinness. Robran came back. Hasn't made an impact against the side he played 7 games for. And away comes Allen. Out of defence. Towards the wing. Going back with the flight of the ball, Rashudo. Well played there by Lee, who tried to give it back to the youngster, but the quick thinking really brought him undone. Hudson off the ground. Down towards left half forward. This ball probably will stay in. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. Oh. It was on the line. I thought it had gone out, but most of it had.
Well, it should have now.
This is Allen. Forward of the wing. Inside the 50. Great leap by Hart. Hudson has constantly been a thorn in the side of the Crows to Paul Deere, who floats it down towards full forward, through for a minor score.
Back into the team tonight. Hasn't really had an impact. Still struggling to find the 1991 form. McGuinness, who's had a really quiet night. Wiedemann the target. Should have taken it. Baxter, Allen gets a free kick, so that's a double whammy by Wiedemann. He misses an easy mark and then gives away a free kick.
There's a very good barometer here at Football Park when the crowd starts to go, and they're going.
Allen, Dunstall looking for 10. Big leap early. Riscito wide, but not much happening here for Adelaide. Bickley ripped to the boundary line by Collins and holding the footy.
Well, the boundary umpire actually signalled out of bounds, so in fact the field umpire not making the right decision there.
It's going to be ugly after the game, this.
Hopefully, well, from the umpire's point of view, most of the crowd may have gone.
So Crawford, I thought Collins is the one that put the tackle on Crawford. Right to the square, and big leap. Dunstall waiting at the back, but out of play. So Hawthorn at 15-9 to 10-16. Dunstall with 9 goals, obviously the star. Modra at the other end for Adelaide with 6. But the Hawks will move themselves up to 3-2, and Adelaide will slip down to that total of 3 wins from its first 5 games. Deer, Gowers, Smart from full-back.
Away he comes then. Members side. Oh, Wiedemann. Oh dear. Well, he's been penalised for in the back. Now, he took the mark. That is very much a line ball.
Yes.
And I'm not sure the umpire. Oh, I see. Hands on the shoulders. Good decision. That was a fair enough decision front on. Here's Cooper. Back towards full forward. In from the side, Pittman. Liptak tried to beat the tackler, and that's been hard to do tonight when the tacklers have been wearing that gold and brown. Lee, Greg Deer, now Smart, over the top, taken by Anderson. McGuinness, haven't seen a lot of him tonight. McGuinness in short, taken by Liptak. So many Hawthorn players have done their jobs exceedingly well. Hodges to Anderson. Anderson on the wing, probing kick inside the 50. Here comes Modra, won't get to it on the full lookout. Confronted there by Jenke. Jarman dragged off it, and Jarman's getting the free kick. Right on the 50. Modra runs back into space. Jarman hangs onto the ball. Anderson is on for the short one. Now Anderson shouldn't have a problem with the distance here. It's a question of accuracy. We're down to 5 minutes and 35 seconds remaining. And the clock continues to run here.
He's had a pretty good night, Anderson, Dennis, I think. He and Condon have been at it all night, but I think Anderson has been more effective than his opponent.
Has to be a goal. It's a very good effort.
Gee, it's a great kick.
So the Crows get their 11th. They're 11-16, and Hawthorn are 15-9.
Yes, well, I'm not sure they can actually salvage this game from here, but it'll be a fantastic effort if they do. But Anderson's worked tirelessly as he normally does, just worked and worked and worked, just ran physically at the ball. Condon's done a similar job, but as I mentioned before, not as effective.
$17-point margin. Could Adelaide get another quick one? Liptak, Modra. Oh, didn't hold it. Wiedemann. Well, free kick going back to Modra, is it?
Yes, looks like it, yes.
It was a late call, and Graham coming on for his first run in the AFL. Mark Graham for Hawthorn, coming on for Anthony Condon.
Just watch this again in replay. As a low trajectory pass, he snaffled most of those tonight, and then Langford just in the end, all over the back of Modra. Technically correct.
Well, a goal here would bring Adelaide within 11 points. And just give them a chance. Now, he missed a couple in the third quarter that weren't all that hard. He's kicked 6, Modra, and he's kicked 7. Well, the people that left 5 minutes ago might come back in if they get another one. In the next minute, there is time. There's only 2 goals of difference.
Remarkable transformation, this, and I think Hawthorn have got a little careless.
Yes, no, the free kick was there. As I said, whilst technical, it certainly is there. So the umpire right on that decision. It might assist them with the crowd.
As they say, there's time enough if they're good enough. 4:35 remaining at Footy Park. Hawthorn, as I said, have been a little careless in this situation and squandered a lead close to 30 points. Over the top, Greg Deer. Bickley thought he was pushed in the back. He'll get the free kick. They need to be careful. Bickley to Anderson. Anderson thumps it down towards centre half forward. Gowers will fly from behind. Disciplined fist on it. Taken by Tregenza. How will it bounce? Out comes Modra. Tries to get it to Maynard. Crashed out of there by Langford. And now with the run of it, it's Crawford. Across half back. 4 minutes remaining in the game. He boots it towards the wing. Hudson was there. Spills to Jarman. Tries to get by the oncoming Hudson. Hand passes towards the boundary line. Taken by Crawford. Bickley bearing down. Unable to control it there, Pritchard. Bickley gets it out. Lee's got it. McDermott has it. Boots it inside the 50. Robran works his way in front. Knocked away down there. Close to the ground is Platten, as always. Held to him, says the umpire. Ball up.
Great work, Mark Bickley. He's run all night. He's still going now. Persistence. Just admire that sort of play.
3.5 minutes remaining. 11-point margin. Modra Langford one out in the square. Well, Rodman went very early. Ayres. It was an important ball. The captain won it. Kicks it to centre wing. Allen underneath it. Paul Deere. And it runs out of play. Time just eating away now for Adelaide. It's been a huge crowd. I've seen a game where at times both teams have dominated and looked to be right on top, and Hawthorn seemingly coasting to an easy victory, but suddenly Adelaide with a chance. This is a big play in the match. Rodman. Modra versus Langford. Oh, well played, Langford. And gets a free kick. Body strength there was good against Modra.
And he'll just hold up play too. Could have handballed him to Platt. They can still give it to him now. It's a short kick across ground. There it goes.
Gets him now. You would think Hawthorn was home, wouldn't you? 2.5 minutes. Oh, loose play by Adelaide. Not good. Collins on his own. And Hawthorn will just try and keep it off here. Collins. Hudson, who's been excellent. Liptak had it taken off him. Hudson. Dunstall's kicked 9. Doesn't quite get that far. Ricciuto. Lee. Smart. McGuinness, oh, threw it away. Ricciuto, good tackle on him by Paul Deere, rips it off him, and the umpire's going to want to bounce it. 2 minutes to go, and the sting seems to have gone suddenly.
Well, they've not once given it away, Adelaide. Every time Hawthorn takes their foot off the accelerator, Adelaide come storming up. That's been the story of the night. Pittman. Ricciuto got it across to Lee. Pritchard towards the boundary line, out of bounds, and the clock continues to run. 1:40 remaining.
Interesting stat, Dennis. Since the bye's been in vogue in 91, 13 wins and 16 losses. Teams coming off the bye. 92, 20 wins from teams off the bye, and only 8 losses. And so far this year, 3-3.
Here's Anderson. He's played very well in this term. Down towards half forward. In front, Robran. Down he goes. Anderson again. Valiant attempt. He can't keep it in. It's out of bounds. So the clock now down to 1:19. 12-16 to 15-9. 11 points the difference, and Hawthorn have shown great poise over the last couple of minutes just to steady this thing down. Here's Tregenza. Still a chance for the Crows. They need a goal on this sortie forward. They'll be denied by Crawford. It was a fine mark. Crawford, untidy kick. Gets it across to Langford. He had 2 to choose from. Langford, a sweeping hand pass across to Cooper. Forward of half-back. He spirals it towards the boundary line. It runs on. That was his intention. Close to the line. Very awkward for Lee. Lee battles Hudson. Hudson does brilliantly. Almost worth a kick as he slaps it down towards the 50. It's back with Cooper now.
Oh, just laying it off. Dunstall in the front spot. Oh, Baxter clever. This is the killer, and Gowers takes it. Well, it was only 30 seconds remaining, and there were 2 goals in front.
Yes, one out with Lee, and Hudson was terrific on the boundary line there, and Hudson in the end just pushing the ball forward. Get the ball in play.
Gowers from 30 metres leans back and kicks the goal. Hawthorn 16-9, Adelaide 12-16. And the Hawks have come to Adelaide on a mission to maintain their position as a power in the AFL, and whilst it might be slipping a bit, they're still very much a part of the action. The Hall just laying it off there.
Yes, and Gowers playing in his 50th game, just had his hands full with Maynard for most of the journey, but perhaps fitting in some respects that he really puts the nail in the coffin there for Adelaide.
17-point margin in the dying seconds here. Pittman goes up. McGuinness got a tap away, and the siren sound. So the Hawks, with Dunstall's 9 goals, leading the way against the odds. Hawthorn, as they've done so often, has won, and that's their first win at Football Park. Hammered here in the opening game in 1991, and they've evened the score with Adelaide in its 4th encounter. And the question mark surrounding Adelaide has grown a bit after tonight. People were saying they'd be unbeaten this year at Football Park. They got over West Coast in their first match, struggled to beat Fitzroy, and have now struggled against Hawthorn. in a match at times that reached great heights. There were some wonderful marks and some great play, but Hawthorn, too good. And Dennis, as you suggested, the umpire's getting the Bronx cheer as they leave the ground. Max Stevens on the ground.
Jason, congratulations. One more would have just made it perfect for you. It would have been nice, but I was just wrapped that we hung on in the end.
What was the game plan when we look back 1991, that thrashing, then the point last year at Waverley?
Yeah, well, I mean, we had plenty of motivation. The idea was just to put pressure on, and I think to the guys' credit, they just kept at it all day.
How hard is it for a full forward to come to this ground? I mean, you must get a lot of flack down there with the crowd.
You do, but it's a nice open ground. There's plenty of space here, and, you know, if the guys deliver the ball well like they did tonight, it certainly makes the job a bit easier.
Do you see that as a turning point? Things haven't been that flash?
It hasn't been great, but hopefully that'll be the start of something good.
Coming off the bye, is that a worry? Did Alan Joyce have a big chat to you about that?
I think that was very good for us. We rested up. They played last Monday. They only had 5 games to recover, and I think that helped us a lot.
OK, mate, we'll let you go. Well done tonight. Thank you. Jason Dunstall.
Talking with Max Stevens. 9 goals out of 16 before 46,689. The final score here at Football Park, Adelaide 12-16-88 and the Hawks 16-9-105.